Hello and welcome to a new episode. It's been a few weeks now I've been out of the saddle, so I thought I'd just get back on track with a little bite-sized episodes. So let's get to it. So I was watching the old YouTubes the other day, and there was a cracking interview with Tim Kask about the first 5 years of TSR. And that's from a GaryCon convention back in October 2016. And if you get a chance to watch it, I'll put a link in the show notes. Well worth watching on the first 5 years of TSR. And in that interview, he talked about how he ran Dragon Magazine, because Tim was the editor of Dragon Magazine for the first 39 issues. And all those issues are now available for free online at the Internet Archive. And again, I'll put a link down in the show notes where you can read that. And he was saying that on his first issue, that at the last minute, one of his advertisements hadn't turned up, so he had a free page, and he needed something to put in that free page because it went to press on a Monday, and he didn't have enough time in those days back to get a new advert sent out to him, so he needed to put a creature feature in it, and this was lined up for issue 2 and onwards. He's going to have a page of a new creature for D&D, but he thought, well, since I've got a page free, let's start it a week early. And if you don't know about the original D&D monsters, the way a lot of them came back was from the imaginations of those guys at TSR. And basically they had a bag of plastic monsters from either Hong Kong or China, really crappy things, and they'd pick one and then they'd try and make up a monster around that. And by this time, they only had a dozen of the really crappy monsters left. So Tim went in to see Gary and said, right, I need another monster, pick one of these. And the one he picked out was like a bullet type, shark type creature. Oh, what am I going to do with this? So anyway, he did it. And in issue 1 of Dragon Magazine, he created the Bulete, also known as the Landshark. So I thought it would be pretty cool to go back on issue 1 of Dragon Magazine and look at the Bulete monster. Thought to be extinct until just recently, this horrifying apparition was crossbred from armadillo and snapping turtle stock. It has the vicious disposition of the turtle with the speed and digging ability of the armadillo. When full grown, they can dwarf a percheron, being from 9 to 11 feet tall. They are very stupid, making them all the more dangerous and irresistible. Their nickname, that of the Landshark, is well founded. They have voracious appetites and will eat nearly anything alive or dead. They show a marked preference for horses and mules, however, reported recently marauding horse herds and attacking even the best armed parties for the single purpose of eating the mounts. If hungry enough, they will attack virtually anyone or anything to satiate their ravenous appetite. Indeed, the Bulete seems to exist for the express purpose of feeding. They will not hesitate to attack and eat humans, though they are not overly fond of dwarves. They are loath to come near elves, alive or dead, but prize hobbits, secondly only to horse flesh. They have been known to dig hobbits right out of their burrows. They can jump up to 8 feet with blinding speed, are masters at stalking silently, and nearly impossible, 90%, to surprise. When fighting, their primary method of attack is with their awesome jaws, said to be capable of biting the largest charger in half. Their claws are also formidable weapons, and when cornered or wounded they can strike with all 4 feet, though they normally favour the front 2. The Bulete, pronounced Bulete, has only 2 semi-vulnerable spots. The eyes are AC4, remember this is the old descending armour class, but are also compared to the overall bulk of the monster. The other is the underside of the hinged portion of their back. The only time this area is exposed is when they raise their crest, something seldom done except in the fiercest of fights. This softer area is AC6, but only about 1.5 foot square. The scales behind the head are highly prized as shields, and their teeth are said to be extremely valuable. They are never found underground. They are very rare, and only mated pairs, if such exist, will share the same territory. No young have ever been sighted. The smallest ever seen of the 6-die variety. No one knows how or where the young are born or hatched. So number appearing is 1 90% to 2 10%. Armour class -2. Move 14 inches. Hit dice 6 to 11 brackets 8-sided. Lair 5%. Treasure none. Magic resistance none. Mouth 4 to 48 points. And feet 3 to 18 points. So that is the Bulete. And what Tim said, that this Bulete was created because at the time there was a problem. Every time the players found a new solution to make themselves stronger, the TSR team was trying to make things harder for them and try to countermand it. And the Bulete was designed for just that purpose, because dwarves had found that if they had the dwarven mounts, they could carry tons of equipment through the adventure. So the Bulete was invented to countermand this. And if you notice with Tim's creatures and with a lot of the original D&D creatures, they all had weak spots. And in the Bulete, it's built into the 2 weak spots, and that's for the players to find. So that is it. The Bulete, the first creature ever released in Dragon magazine. So that's all for this episode, and I'll see you all on the flip side.